Morning, everybody. This is Dr. Jeff Culbert from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. We're going to bring you another interview today and then show you an adjustment. But I got to tell you guys, thank you so much for when we did the last video. I asked for prayers because it was my daughter's birthday. Turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous afternoon for her 36th birthday. So happy birthday, Lauren. And it was a great day. So thanks for your prayers, everybody. But again, we're coming to you today kind of as a surprise interview and a surprise adjustment. Brenda has been a patient with us now probably for almost 20 years.
Yes.
She came to us from another doctor who did activator technique, and at the time I was an activator instructor. So Brenda came in and was a natural fit for what we do with activator here in the practice. She does have some disc degeneration that's going on in her neck, but she also has had numerous, I guess, repeat episodes of Lyme disease.
Yes, always new cases that I was able to clear with antibiotics, but I had a case 2 years ago that was caught a little bit late, and now 2 years later, I have a relapse of the infection from 2 years ago. I finished a course of antibiotics for 1 month. I am 3.5 weeks out waiting for the follow-up test results.
So as a result of this kind of chronic reoccurrence with Lyme's, Brenda sometimes has a little bit of difficult, what we call in chiropractic, holding her adjustment. So we got her adjusted yesterday and she was doing great when she left.
I was.
Unfortunately, went to an outdoor concert last night. Unfortunately, the weather here in New Jersey, we've had weekends of a lot of crazy rain. So I'm sure sitting at a picnic table for a couple of hours, not necessarily supported, maybe some night dampness and some coldness, maybe aggravated a little bit of the arthritis in the neck, tightened up some muscles. But we're here today with Brenda. And what I want Brenda to do is, she's been with us for about 20 years, coming from another doctor. And she has had the experience when I have been out of the office for a shoulder replacement or when I've been traveling, experiencing some of our covering doctors, some of which she resonated very, very well with,
yes,
and one that she did not resonate very well with. So I'm going to let her give you a little bit of a background on her experience with our office, using the chiropractic, a little bit of some of the stuff that we do with some of the applied kinesiology after her adjustment, which you'll see us do. Sorry that this is an emergency visit, but kind of tell everybody a little bit of your story and your journey coming to our office.
Well, I started with activator about 20 years ago with a different doctor because I was having lower back pain. And I came to Dr. Jeff, and I have been a patient ever since. I have had ups, I have had downs. Lately, with the last exacerbation of Lyme, there has been more neck discomfort. But overall, I have to say in the past 20 years, I have been doing overall well. I don't have as much stiffness, so much discomfort. I'm moving better, walking better. I do have to say, anytime I have reached out to this office, whether it's that day just to get in or an emergency, the staff is amazing. They go above and beyond to take care of me. Dr. Jeff has come in on a Saturday just because I texted and said, I can't turn my head. So I cannot say enough good things. He has saved my life literally on more than one occasion.
Well, that's really great to hear. Thank you so much. And the real crazy thing is, you never know how you're going to get a patient and when you're going to end up crossing paths repeatedly with a patient. Years ago, I used to take care of a rather world-famous jazz pianist who lives out in this area. And what I would end up doing on a very regular basis for about 5 years, I would be driving by Brenda's house. And at the time, I don't think I necessarily knew it was your house.
Right.
As I'm coming home one day, I'm driving by and I'm going just about to pull in front of Brenda's house. And I noticed that by a big pine tree or spruce tree, there's this black thing darting. And before I know it, this little black thing, which happens to be a black bear, jumps out and literally in front of my car. And unfortunately, I run over the thing. And it's stuck underneath my car. I have to make a decision. Do I go forward? Do I go backwards? So I roll over it again, and it's flopping there, and it's right in front of Brenda's house.
Yes, I did not see this. I must not have been home.
So we've had this really crazy connection between me and Brenda, jazz musician, chiropractic, activator. But I got to tell you, Brenda came to us from another doctor. She adapted well to what we do right away. she's literally become part of our practice family. And we like to think that everybody that comes into the practice is adopted into our practice family. And when Brenda mentioned that we go above and beyond the call of duty, it's really not above and beyond the call of duty. It's something that we gladly extend to any and all of our patients. My dad passed away. It's been a year now since my dad passed. Yesterday was his year anniversary. Oh. As I said in another video, Reflections of a Son to His Father, my dad taught me, okay, years ago, and I always get emotional when I bring this subject up, because it was in 1984. It was December. I was finishing up chiropractic semester and getting literally ready to jump into exams when I get a phone call from my mom, literally hysterical, that my brother had been killed in a car accident. And my wife and I are stuck in Chicago, and it is a foggy, snowy, icy night, and we were going to just jump in the car and drive home. Urged not to, so we ended up finding a way to get some money together through the school to fly home as an emergency, and I missed my exams. But as I got home, I was asking my mom, I said, where was Dad? And because obviously Dad was out delivering a baby that night, and I said, where was Dad? He wasn't home. You were here with Stephen. Where was Dad, and how did he find out? And my mom said it had to be one of the hardest things that he had ever done. He literally found out that his son had been killed in a car accident, and within 5 minutes walked in and delivered a baby boy. So that kind of commitment taught to me as a doctor, doesn't matter whether you're an OBGYN, you're an orthopedist, you're a pediatrician, you're a chiropractor, you're a dentist, you take on the role and the responsibility of taking care of somebody. It is probably one of the greatest responsibilities. You should never take it lightly. It's never a 9-to-5 job. With that, I have been literally called Brenda. When I was traveling with the jazz musician, I was in France, I was in London, I've been in Switzerland, I've been in Japan, I've been in South America, I've been in San Francisco, and I get calls from patients all the time at a variety of times of day or night, because patients don't know what time zone I'm in or whatever, but it's just something that it was ingrained to me early on from my father, that you do what you have to do to take care of a patient. Doesn't matter day or night. And there were many times that I saw my father get up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, hear him go out the door, and where's Dad going? Deliver a baby. So again, that's just how I was raised, and just part of our nature and our DNA here at Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. When you came to us from the other chiropractor, you had this crazy problem. You want to tell us a little bit about your crazy problem in your feet and how that can totally...
Yes, in 2008, I had foot surgery on my left foot for something called post-tibial tendinitis. And I had seen 5 orthopedists to finally get a correct diagnosis. And the decision was made that I would have something called a tendon transfer surgery, which involved taking the post-tibial tendon out and replacing it with a synthetic tendon. And in order to do this, it necessitated basically taking a portion of my heel bone away, cutting it off to help kind of straighten the foot. And that procedure is done first. So part of my heel on the left foot was removed, the bone. And then when the orthopedist got into the tendon was basically perfect, except that it had a nodule that was hard and calcified. And that was what was ultimately causing the pain. So that calcification was removed. I had the exact same calcification on the right foot, which was also removed. But as a result, my feet are different. Okay, so the arch of my left foot is perfect, and the arch of my right foot is kind of flat. And I've tried assorted orthotics, different shoes, one thing after the other, good things, bad things. But when I first started seeing Dr. Jeff, I was having a lot of foot issues, and I was just always feeling crooked and off balance, and it throws off everything. So over the course of the years, and I'm like the princess and the pea with my footwear, they have to be just so. I now see a shoe specialist, and overall my feet trend up. When there is a Lyme exacerbation, I usually notice it in my feet first, which is what happened this time. But yes, over the years, Dr. Jeff has heard all about my shoe woes. He always checks me to make sure I'm straight. And the chiropractic has made a huge difference in just my balance and my walking and feeling like, my feet are even.
And that's one of the concepts that Activator starts with. Is Activator will look at your leg length and see what's going on throughout the body with reactive leg length changes. And so again, the bottom line concept is if we can't get Brenda's feet stable, then everything from the feet up is not going to be stable. So it was a particular challenge with Brenda to make sure that those feet are stable. And she's been great about working with us and letting us know when she's seeing the shoe specialist and when she's seeing the Lyme specialist, and a whole bunch of things. It's so, again, what Brenda has done very successfully is she has started to create her healthcare team. We're fortunate enough that I and Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center are part of her healthcare team. I like to think a very integral part of her healthcare team, but along with the shoe guy, the podiatrist,
the
Lyme specialist, she just has created a team of people that are all there to support her. And while it is a little bit more difficult case, because it's not one of those usual cases, you generally don't have people who have nodules taken out and their feet altered, and you don't have chronic Lymes and recurrent Lymes that are currently coming back with a lot of people. So it does make it a little bit challenging. At the same time, it does make it a little bit of fun, because I have this little part of my brain that says, I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out.
And he does.
Okay.
He does.
And sometimes it's a slow, tedious process, but knock on wood, we do have the tendency to try to get Brenda figured out. If you had to tell anything to anybody out there that's going to view your interview here with us today that is leaning on the fence, do I include chiropractic care as my healthcare team? Don't I include chiropractic care in my healthcare team? I'm afraid to go see a chiropractor. I've heard horrible things about chiropractor. Don't ever let them adjust your neck, kind of things. Tell them why you chose Activator and how a very, very gentle technique like Activator can be highly effective to helping a condition resolve, be more stabilized, and give you a more sense of long-term wellness versus short-term crisis.
I was very hesitant to start chiropractic. And one of the reasons I started with Activator with a different doctor was at the recommendation of my family doctor at the time. And she said, it's extremely gentle. It's like a little stick. You don't even notice it. Because I, like a lot of people out there, had this idea that chiropractic was, oh gosh, they snap your neck, throw you around the room. It's really rough. I'm never going to survive this. And I was so surprised when I first started Activator. And it has made a huge difference, because sometimes it's just the subtle little thing that is causing the big problem. And I have come in here complaining about something with my neck or my lower back, and the problem is in a totally different area. Or the headache will come on, and I don't know why, and I think it's my neck, but it's actually my jaw. And I have never, in the time I've been coming here, I have never felt unsafe or like I would be really suffering after this adjustment and I'm going to be miserable for the whole rest of the day. I usually feel better, and it's almost immediate. Sometimes I might be a little bit sore afterwards, but overall, when I come in to when I leave, there is a tremendous difference, a tremendous improvement. And if you're afraid, I am super sensitive. I don't go for massage because I do tend to overreact with that and everything gets really sore. If you tend to be, oh my gosh, I'm so sensitive, I can't do this, you can do this. If I can do this, anybody can do this.
It has always been my policy that if something doesn't feel right to you when we're done adjusting you, please let me know before you get in the car and drive away. My concept is, if you got in the car and drove away, my job was done and something happened. But if you have something that doesn't feel right before you get in the car and start driving away, you are always more than welcome to come back in and have me double check things.
And I've done that.
Okay, and that's going to be my point before we end the interview, is there are little bit times that Brenda leaves and comes back, And I say, okay, what did I miss, or what's not going on, or what just happened? And she'll come back and she'll say, well, something doesn't feel right. Can you double check? And we'll double check, and sometimes we find something and sometimes we don't. She always knows that if it doesn't feel just right leaving, anytime before you get in that car and start pulling away, it is on me to go and double check that. So with that being said, there have been times, I think literally you've come back in 5 or 6 times for us to double check
Maybe
something.
not quite that many.
And there's always, it's uncanny because a lot of times Brenda is absolutely right, because we have a standard way of checking things. And then activator has a little bit more advanced and a little bit more advanced and a little bit more advanced. So 99% of everything can be taken care of with generally just basic activator. And every now and then Brenda will come in and say, okay, well, I got to check it. This is still fine, but now I got to check it a different way. And there it is. And then I got to check it a different way. And eventually we do figure it out.
Yes.
And she goes home and she's fine. And then there's other times she comes, just doesn't quite feel right. And I check everything 8 ways from Sunday. And it is still holding for us. And again, sometimes the adjustment takes, sometimes like Brenda said, it's instantaneous, and other times it does take a little bit of time for that body to shift and get everything where it wants to be, and then it settles down and it is in. So Brenda, you've been great to come in today. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for helping us out with an interview as we do a little bit of an emergency adjustment for you today. Again, it is always a pleasure to take care of you. It's wonderful to have you as part of our practice family. Now, as we're signing off so I can get Brenda adjusted for the video portion of this, I want to say this is Dr. Jeff Culbert coming from you from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. If anything that you have heard from Brenda today resonates for you, if you're in the Hackettstown, Long Valley, Great Meadows area, please feel free to visit our website, smcc4u.com. Leave us a comment, send us an email. If you're in the area and just want to see a tour of our office, as always, I love to show off my office. I love to show off my staff and what makes us special and unique in the area. And again, if anything in this video has motivated you, please hit the like button, please hit share, hit the little bell so you know when we're posting another video. And again, I want to thank you for your attention. And this is Dr. Jeff Culbert signing off from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center. Have a really great day, and we'll see you in another video real soon.